Hello everyone, Ryan here. So I just saw Red Sparrow, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Joel Edgerton, I believe. Also, Jeremy Irons is thrown in there for good measure. A couple of other recognizable actors, and though their names escape me at the moment. So in this movie, Jennifer Lawrence, she plays this ballerina named Dominica, and during one of her performances, she suffers a severe injury. She pretty much breaks her leg, and or rather, somebody breaks her leg, which may or may not be on purpose. Or I don't want to spoil anything, but so then she has this uncle who works in this some kind of secret program, which is kind of like the CIA, but I guess the Russian version of the CIA. I don't know if it's called the KGB. I guess at one point it used to be called the KGB. But so she gets sent to this school, which is referred to as some kind of training school for Red Sparrows. And so she becomes trained in I guess, technically, the art of espionage. Yeah. So that she starts working for the government, for the Russian government, in order to try to covertly find out, I guess, a certain amount of information from the American government, or I guess technically the CIA, the American CIA, and all that stuff. And of course, eventually she's required to abandon all of her ideals, pretty much everything that she was raised on. She's told that she has to do away with being afraid to be aggressive, and also, she has to pretty much, stop caring about how she might look in public, or which makes sense, because it's to be any kind of spy. I'd imagine that one must suspend a certain amount of dignities, I guess, dignities, ideals, and opinions, and pretty much almost everything that most people are taught, raised on, as far as what society deems to be any kind of or anything resembling, even remotely resembling a functioning member of society, I guess. That's how I interpreted it. So then, for the most part, I guess Jennifer Lawrence's character, she does a pretty good job. I guess one might say maybe even too good of a job, because eventually she gets so wrapped up in everything, and very quickly she just, she pretty much takes to the whole thing, the whole experience very quickly, and figures out a way to kind of screw over certain people, and in order to ensure that ultimately to ensure her safety, but also the safety of her mother, her mother suffering from some kind of illness, and I guess requires a certain amount of care and attention, and so and of course I do gotta say, Jennifer Lawrence, she does give a pretty decent performance in this. I will say that I felt like the bulk of the story seemed to be lacking a certain something. Exactly what, I don't know. Because it's not like, it's really, to me it didn't seem like it wasn't much like, it wasn't like one of those things, one of those stories that is left open to interpretation. Definitely seemed more like one of those stories that is just, I don't know, just lacking something. I don't know, it was possibly lacking a certain amount of action or a certain amount of suspense or drama, emotion, or I don't know, or maybe all of the above, but that's how I felt. That's how it came off to me. But otherwise, I mean, I kind of felt like this is one of those movies that's more of, focuses a lot more on the characters than the story. And in that regard, it came off as pretty interesting, at least to me. I don't know, I know, I came across several bad reviews of this movie, and I can definitely see why some people might not like this movie, and but I don't know, I might also be kind of biased because Jennifer Lawrence, she's pretty much one of my favorite actresses. If not, well, I would say definitely at least, one of my top 5 or even top 3 favorite actresses. I don't want to expand too much on that, because I don't want to come off as creepy or. Of course, Jennifer Lawrence, she does have some nude scenes in this movie. That's. I mean, how can I not talk about? how can I not at least mention them? I felt like they were tastefully done, at least for me. Maybe with the exception of one. But yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't find them at least somewhat entertaining. But as far as whether or not they added anything extra to the story, I definitely feel like at least one of them did. Yeah. Otherwise, the other ones are just. Definitely came off as just nothing more than just kind of filler material or something along those lines. And and then of course the ending, I kind of felt like the ending was meant to be pretty climactic, and it kind of was, but at the same time it kind of wasn't. I don't know, for me, the ending came off as surprising, but not ultimately not too surprising. Although still, like, I don't know, for me it made sense. It was one of those endings that made sense. And I could definitely see, like, came off as, like, one of those endings that, like, felt like it was supposed to be, like, extremely surprising, but ultimately it really wasn't that surprising, at least not to me. So, yeah, I don't know. As far as, like, the other performances in this movie go, like, Joel Edgerton, Jeremy Irons, like, pretty much almost, like, the rest of the cast, I guess I would say, like, yeah, they all gave decent performances. Like, pretty much, I really had no problems with any of the actors or actresses in this movie. It was more like just the story. For me, like, the story just, again, felt lacking in something, possibly, like, more than a bunch of things. Or So, yeah, I don't know. I guess ultimately, overall, like, as far as the rating goes, I would give this 8 out of 10, possibly even 8.5 at the most. 8.5 out of 10, so, yeah. I guess, like, it's one of those movies that, if you're, like, a big Jennifer Lawrence fan, you probably wouldn't mind watching this more than once. But otherwise, I feel like, yeah, if you're not a big Jennifer Lawrence fan, or even if you're not a big fan of spy movies, then, yeah, you probably won't really like this movie. So, yeah. I don't know, that's just my opinion. So, that'll do it for my review of Red Sparrow. Once again, I give it 8 out of 10, 8.5 at the most. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. As always, till next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.